Okay, with that,
Yep.
let's do the
Recording.
thing.
Yeah, let's do it. I think everybody's here except I think Kat's going to be a few minutes late. So,
Yes.
um, welcome everybody. It's so good to see you all. It's so exciting. Um, just to give you a little, just like kind of a sense of what's about to happen. So I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit about Collab Labs, kind of set things up a little bit. We're gonna do a quick round of intros. We have a lot of people, so we're just gonna do, name, pronouns, location, which team you're participating on and what role, and then you're going to pick the next person to go. So it'll be nice and efficient. You'll pick somebody on the screen, and you'll say, okay, that person's name, and then they'll pick it up, and we'll go through those. Then we're going to have some of the mentors who have mentored before, and you'll find out more about that, go through the project brief. So we'll describe sort of what the project is about, how you're going to work together, how that all works. I have a couple little kind of administrative things to do as well, and then we're going to get into breakout rooms, and you'll go with your team and your set of mentors, and you'll talk through, make sure everybody has the project set up on your computer, and that you kind of know what the first week's issues are that you're going to be working on. So that's kind of the agenda. It's going to be a little bit of a long meeting. I mean, we scheduled an hour and a half for it, and so we've never done a meeting this big, so we'll see. Hopefully that's plenty of time for what we have to go through. But so I'll introduce myself first and tell you a little bit just kind of about Collab Lab, I guess. So I'm Andrew Hedges, and I'm the founder of Collab Lab. About a little over a year ago. So we kicked off the first Collab Lab cohort on August 22nd. So we're just maybe 3 weeks shy of a year into this. But about a little more than a year ago, I was having a beer with a graduate of a code school here in Portland, Oregon, where I live, and I was an instructor at that code school, and still an advisor to them. But he and I were getting together, and we were talking about just how he had found it really difficult to kind of keep the motivation to continue to code and to learn after he left the boot camp. And so, we were talking about that and why that is. And he was saying that something that he thought would help him would be just accountability, working with other people. So I was like, I just built this little app for myself, and I bet I could kind of scope it out, like write some user stories and things, and kind of, set up a little project. And if we can find a couple more people to do this with you, then let's try it. Let's just do a project together. So we were actually about to go to a junior dev meetup here in Portland. So we went to the meetup, and we found Caitlin Greffley, who was like, yeah, I'd love to do that. And so we're like, okay. So we found Stacy was another person who participated in the very first cohort, and then another woman here in Portland. And we ran the project, and it was really good. I mean, there were some rough edges, it's not quite as polished. It wasn't quite as polished as it is now, but it worked, and we kind of opened it up, tried to get a second one going, and we did. And then at that point, there was a lot of demand for the program. So we've been working really hard over the last year to scale the whole thing up. Stacy's been integral to that whole effort, and we're so excited to have 3 teams kicking off all at the same time. So many mentors involved, and it's just fantastic. So I'm so glad that you're all here. I'm so I don't know, just feel so much gratitude that you all are willing to kind of put the time into this, and to kind of take the risk of doing this with us. Hopefully we'll give you a good experience, and you'll create that for yourselves as well. But yeah, I'm just welcome to the Collab Lab. So what I'll do, I'll pick the next person. So again, it's sorry, I didn't say my pronouns. My pronouns are he, him. So name, pronouns, location, and your role on which of the teams, and then pick the next person. So Stacy, why don't you go next?
Sure thing. I'm Stacy. Hi, she, her, hers. I am in Sacramento, California, and I'm a mentor this round with Team 9. I've also, like Andrew said, participated as a participant in the very first one ever, and have been involved with basically every cohort since, and a lot of the program management for Collab Lab. So thank you all for coming. You make my heart soar, and I'm so pleased to have you all here. Thank you. Passing it over to Joey.
Hey folks, my name is Joey Laguna. I am also in Sacramento, California. My pronouns are he and him. Yeah, so this is going to be my second time acting as a mentor for Collab Lab. My first time was mentoring Collab Lab Cohort 5 with Lauren as a fellow mentor. And at that time, Jennifer was in the cohort as well. And so we'll get to hear from her in a bit. Yeah, I'm super stoked to continue this. This is such a fun part of my life. And so glad I get to continue it. All right, let's kick it off with Mabel.
Hi team, my name is Mabel. My pronouns are her and she. My location is New York City, and I'm super excited to be here because I've been out of the workforce for a few months. And one of the things that I really miss is working in a group, you know, collaborating with others. And so I'm really excited to be a part of this group. And I believe I am in Team 9. And so I will pick the next person, Francesca.
Hey, you know, like when you're in class and you're always shocked, like me. My name is Francesca. My pronouns are she and her, hers. I am, I think, on Team 11, I believe. And I feel like that was 3. Wasn't there 4? What was the other one that I'm missing?
Your location?
Oh yeah. I'm in Berkeley, California. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I live kind of by the university. Yeah, more people from California. And yeah, super excited to be here. Thank you so much for I guess having this opportunity for everyone. Yeah. So I'm gonna pick. I'm just gonna pick randomly Leah.
Hi everyone, I'm Leah. I'm based in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I think I'm in Team 9. And my pronoun is she and her. Super excited to working with y'all. I'm gonna pass to Leanne next.
Hi y'all. My name's Leanne. I go by she, her. And I am part of Team 9, and I am here in good old Portland, Oregon. So fun. Super excited to be with all of you. And I'm going to pass it to, I'm just going to look, Adrienne.
Awesome. Thank you, Leanne. We are in Team 9 together. I was a mentor in the previous cohort, Cohort 8. I had a fantastic experience. And I'm back as a code of conduct responder for Team 9, not as a mentor, but I'm really excited to do it. And I am located in Nashville, Music City, Tennessee. And I'm going to pass to Gabriella.
Thank you, Adrienne. Hi, I'm Gabriella, or you can just call me Gabby. I feel like when I signed into Zoom, it just takes like legal long government name. Just call me Gabby. It's all good. I'm from LA, but I'm here in San Francisco, California, and I am in TCL 10. So yeah, I'm super excited to get started. Get some new skills in there, do some teamwork, get some really cool stuff done. And yeah, I'll pass it to Keely Hammond.
All right, great. Hi, everybody.
Oh, no,
my name is...
Freeze? Oh, no.
Oh, no, I can still hear you. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thanks, Gabriella. Hi, everybody. My name is Keely Hammond. I'm based in Portland, Oregon, like several of you here as well. And I am a mentor for TCL 10, so very excited to be working with all of you. And I will go ahead, I'm just looking to see who hasn't gone yet. I'll pass it to Quinn.
You muted, Quinn.
I think you're muted, Quinn.
There you go.
Cool. Hi, I'm Quinn. I am based out of Jersey. I am TCL 10, and the pronouns I use are he, him. Yeah, I'm ready to get started on some stuff that I haven't really worked with before. So looking forward. I'll pass it to Lauren.
Do you have both Laurens here today, or is it just me?
Yes, yeah, both Laurens. You can rock, paper, scissors for it. You
can go first. All right, I'll go first and then I'll pick you. Let's be ready. My name is Lauren Beatty. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I live in Minnesota, just outside of Minneapolis, and I'm a mentor for TCL 10. So I'm super excited to get to know everyone and get to work. And Lauren, you.
Hi, I'm the second Lauren. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm in Washington, D.C., and I'm on Team 10 as a participant, and I'm really excited to be here. So, Michelle?
Hello, I'm Michelle. I'm currently in New Hampshire. I'm also one of your COCs for TCL 10. Code of conduct, sorry, no acronyms. And my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
Who are you gonna pick?
Oh, right. Did we get other Lauren yet?
Yeah.
I'm so terrible at ever paying attention to this. Hasn't gone. Raise your hand. Okay, Matthew, you were first.
Hey everyone, I'm Matthew. Pronouns are he, him, and his. I'm based in Northern California, so up in Sonoma wine country, formerly Portland, where I met Andrew. I'm a twice participant. I did the program everyone here is doing, plus a pilot program with Jennifer. And I am now going to be an assistant mentor for a TCL 10. So really looking forward to getting started. And I will pass it to Jennifer and her very cute child.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer. My pronouns are she, her. I'm based out of Portland, Oregon, too. And like Matthew said, I was a 2 times Collab alum, I guess. And now I'm going to be an assistant mentor for TCL 11. Hey, Bill. You want to say hi? Say hi to friends. And then this is my daughter, Ayla, who usually meeting bombs. Waving, can you say hi? Can you say hi?
Hi. Oh,
okay.
Hi.
Good. But yeah, so let's pass it on to EJ.
Hi, everyone. I'm EJ. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I am in the LA area, and I am hanging out to learn how to be a mentor, hopefully in the future. Stacy and Andrew have been so kind as to sort of onboard me this weekend and chat with me about stuff and how I can pitch in, and I'm really excited to see how all of you work and what comes out of this. And who hasn't gone? I think Scott, you hadn't gone? Oh, you're on mute.
Start over. I'm Scott. I don't have any pronoun attachments. I'm in Portland, Oregon, and I am an assistant mentor for TCL 9. I'll pass it on to Jill.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jill, and I'm based out of Portland, Oregon. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm a substitute mentor, so I'll kind of be involved in a little bit of everything. Also, just kind of onboarding to the whole Collab Lab, the whole thing. So yeah, really excited to see how it works. Yeah, let's see. How about Volha? Did I say that right? All right. Yeah. How
Yes,
about you?
you did. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Volha. My pronouns are she, hers. I am in San Jose, California, and I am a Team 11. Thank you for having me here. Super excited. And I would pass it on to Brendan.
Okay, you guys hear me now? Okay,
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. He, him, they, them. I am from outside of the United States, actually. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and I am part of TCL 11. I am looking forward to working with everybody, and this is super exciting. I'd like to pass it on to Yves. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, nice. Thank you, Brendan, for being the courageous one who says my name. So yeah, my name is Yves Gurcan. I happen to be French, so that's why the weird name. And just, you can think of Adam and Eve or Steve, same thing. So don't worry about it. It's not as hard as you think. So yeah, pronouns are he, him, just, you know, I don't really have, you know, as long as I can understand that you're talking to me or about me, you can call me anything you want, really. But yeah, so I'm in Portland, Oregon, like a lot of other people. I'm a mentor of the TCL9 team. What else can I say? I'm very excited to be here for the first time. You know, throughout my career, I felt like I've had the opportunity of lots of people, you know, kind of giving to me in lots of ways, and I'm just really happy to be able to give back now that I have a little bit more experience. So I'm just very excited to give you a hand, guys, folks, if you need it. And yeah, I'm just very excited, really. So yeah, who is next? Joey, did you go? You did go. Yeah, let's see. Laquita, yeah, go for it. Or is it Laquita? I can't remember.
Laquita.
Last time, it's Laquita, all right?
Yep.
Perfect.
That's right. Thank you. Hey, I'm Laquita. This will be my first time with the Collab Lab, so I'm super pumped about that. I'll be with TC11, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I am in Seattle right now, but looking like I might be moving back Midwest soon, so that should be great. I'm originally from Detroit, as everyone from Detroit will tell you. That's like the first thing they'll tell you when you meet them. You'll know if they're really from there. This is really nothing else going on there. So, yeah. So I'm excited to meet everybody and get started.
I think Fabrice and Kathy haven't gone.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Fabrice.
Hey everybody, I'm not sure if you could see me or whatnot. My name is Fabrice. Excited to get started with you all. My pronouns are he/him. I'm in Monroe, Michigan, so southeast Michigan. Yeah, I'm just happy to get started and to get to work. I'm not the last person who was there. Anybody else?
I think Kathy hasn't gone. I think that might be it.
Oh, throwing it over to Kathy.
Hi, thank you, Fabrice. My name is Kathy, as Fabrice said. I am a Code Newbie participant on Team 11. I am excited to be here for this unique opportunity. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am quarantining in Southwest Georgia, doing the best I can, looking for a way out. Dealing with the year-long allergies that are apparently down here. So I think that's about it.
Yeah, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad everybody's here. Yeah, especially like this, you know, this is such a weird, terrible year in so many ways. So just the fact that you all are willing to kind of put in the time and put in the energy to this, I so appreciate it. Oh, and Kat, you just showed up just in time. Kat gets to, yeah, there you are. We just did the entire group. You missed it, but it's on the recording. You can go back and listen to everybody just introduce themselves. But if you wouldn't mind, just your name, your pronouns, your location, and then which group you're going to be a participant with.
Hi all, I'm Kat. My pronouns are she/her/they/them, whatever. Generally just call me Kat. I am located in Toronto, and I am in group 10.
Awesome, that's great. Whew. Wow,
We just had 25 introductions.
I know, right?
25.
Isn't that amazing? So great. So next, Adrienne is going to talk a little bit about our code of conduct, kind of how the response system and all those kinds of things. So, and once she does that, then we'll move to Stacy, who's going to kick off the project brief. Oh no, sorry, that's not right. Laura's going to kick off the project brief. So go ahead, take it away, Adrienne.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be here. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yep.
I don't have the best internet connection here in Nashville, Tennessee sometimes, so I'm working on that. So here's what I'm going to be talking about briefly. I'm going to be talking about the Code of Conduct's basics, how to contact the Code of Conduct Committee, how we're going to be in touch with you, and then briefly go over each team's responder and do some super quick introductions. So COC basics, what it is. You all signed the Code of Conduct because it is a requirement for participating in the program. In fact, the Collab Lab Code of Conduct is something that we all agree to abide by as a requirement for being part of the program, not just as a participant, but as a mentor as well. This is because the Collab Lab is dedicated to providing a harassment-free experience for everyone. We do not tolerate harassment in any form. And our Code of Conduct applies to all of our Collab Lab spaces, including our GitHub and Slack teams, both online and off. Anyone who violates the Code of Conduct may be sanctioned or expelled from spaces at the discretion of the response team. Now, we haven't had any issues so far, but we put this out there because we do take it, very seriously. We want to create a psychologically safe experience for you all and for you to know clearly how to get help if you feel like you need it. You can read the Code of Conduct on our website. It is there. It's always there for you at the Collab Lab codes, or the collablab.code/code of conduct. And it goes through the Code of Conduct itself, what harassment is, if you have any questions, and how to report. So speaking of how to report, I want to move on to the next section, how to contact us. So the Code of Conduct Committee is comprised of a group of people who have been through a special paid training offered with the express purpose of teaching teams, whether they be workplace teams or conference teams or community open source or nonprofit teams like ours, how to implement and use a code of conduct. So we've all been through that training. And that group of people is comprised of myself, Stacy, Lisa Smith, and Michelle, who's here on the call. Lisa is not one of the Code of Conduct responders for this group, but she is on the Code of Conduct Committee. And when you email us at code-of-conduct@thecollablab.codes, she is part of that listserv, and we all are. You can also direct message any of us in the Collab Lab Slack workspace. If you do DM us, please keep in mind that we may not see your message immediately, but we will follow up promptly as we can. How we'll be in touch with you. That's the next section, or what we do, how we'll be interacting with you. You'll see us here on this initial call. We're all here. We'll also be checking in with each member of our assigned cohort at the 2 and 6 week marks. So I am the Code of Conduct responder for 9, Michelle is for 10, and Stacy is for 11. And what that means is that for each of our groups, at the 2nd and 6 week marks, we'll reach out to each of the cohort members to schedule just a little bit of time together, maybe a 15-minute Zoom call, to check in on you, see how you're doing, solicit feedback about the program, and see if there's any way you need support. It is a no stress call. It is a no stakes call. It's totally okay if you don't have actual Code of Conduct issues, but we do want to have that touch point with you just to proactively solicit feedback because we use your feedback to improve the program and make it better. So we will also be attending your final call to wrap up and send you off on your merry way and say thanks to you for your dedication to this program. So as I said, to wrap up, each team has a responder. I'm the responder for 9, Michelle's the responder for 10, and Stacy is the responder for 11. So we'll just do some brief introductions and that'll wrap it up for me. So my name's Adrienne. I am an experienced engineering director and manager. I have a Python background in JavaScript. I've worked as director of engineering at several different companies, typically leading the core engineering team and the operations team. I have a huge heart for DevOps, given tons of technical keynotes and talks at conferences throughout the world. And if you have questions about that, I'd be happy to talk to you about getting into public speaking or reviewing talks or copy with you. But I'm really excited to be here in the role of code of conduct because it's something that I value, and it's a good way for me to give my time for the next 8 weeks. So looking forward to being available to you. So let's hear from Michelle and Stacy if there's anything you want to add, and that'll be it for me. Michelle?
Yeah, it's me again, introducing myself again. I work at Zapier with quite a few other people here at Collab Lab. I work on a lot of the diversity stuff that we're doing there, so what Collab Lab is doing is super important to me. Yeah, same thing that Adrian already covered. I'll be checking in with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to email or Slack, and I'll pass it on to Stacy.
Same, you know me, Stacy. Collab Lab is like my sweet little baby, and I cherish it, and I want it to grow into this beautiful thing where you all can have a safe, amazing experience where you can learn and grow, and we can all work together to support each other. So here for you. I'll check in with you if you're in cohort or group 11. That's all.
Awesome. Well, let's pass it to Lauren to go over the overview and weekly cadence of our project brief.
Awesome, thank you. So somebody privately messaged me and said they're going to share their screen. Perfect. So we're going over the project brief, which you can find if you want to switch to just the code tab. Yeah, so in your repository, you'll find the project brief about halfway down the repository. Perfect, so let's go over the project brief. So during your time here with your team, you will be building a smart shopping list. So this, as Andrew had said, this is based on an application that he had built previously. He wanted a smart shopping list that would keep track of the things that he wanted to buy, and also to be able to kind of prioritize things for him. It would learn as he would buy things like, oh, you tend to buy apples quite a bit, so let's bump that to the top of the list. And Jennifer is so amazing, created a demo for this app. So if you wouldn't mind clicking on that link where it says can be found here. Great, so we won't watch it today, but please take time to watch this demo. So this is a demo of TCL6's application that they created called Egg-Headed, and Scott was on this project, and they just, design-wise, like super knocked it out of the park. It's so beautiful. But please take time to watch the demo because it's really well done, and it'll help maybe solve some of those questions that you might have regarding some of the issues, like how should I approach this? All right, let's head back. So that's the goal, that's the end goal. So locations for things, here you'll find a list of links. That the site is the production site that's hosted on Netlify, the repository, of course, the clone URL. So that's the URL that you use to clone that project to your machine. And then each project will have their own set of issues. We have a project, if you want to click on that. Beautiful. So this is like a Kanban board. Do people say Kanban or Kanban? I always say Kanban.
I say Kanban, I don't know.
Do you?
It's more like Gengis Khan. I feel like a warrior when I say it.
Yeah. Cool. So these are the issues that we'll be working on throughout the week. Each week, we will take on 2 issues. A pair will be assigned to each issue, and that is the work that you'll be assigned to for the week. Let's head back. Wonderful. And then finally, there's a link to the Firestore database, and that's where you can see, once you start working with the database, you can see in real time, things get updated there once things are all set up. Perfect. So project cadence and duration. The project is expected to take about 40 hours per participant. So we recommend that works out, I should say, to be about 5 hours per week. Some weeks it's going to be maybe a little bit more or maybe a little bit less. And we would like feedback on that, because we really don't want it to be more than 5 hours per week, both for participants and mentors. So again, each pair will take on a story or task from the issue list and work on that together. And then in your own project brief for your repository, you'll have a list of the people that you're paired with for every single week. Cool, you can scroll down. Wonderful. So Collab Lab, the name says it all. We're not about teaching people to code, but we're really about collaboration. And the heart and soul of collaboration for Collab Lab is pair programming. So throughout the week, I would dedicate at least 2 hours of that 5 hours to working directly with your partner, either through Zoom or Google Hangout, etc. So this is really where the magic happens and where so much learning and growth takes place. Pairing, one, helps solve issues a lot faster, because 2 heads are definitely better than 1. 2, it's a really great exercise in learning how to communicate technically. I need to practice this all of the time, but this will really set you up for success for job interviews going forward. And then again, there's no right way to pair program, and you will undoubtedly experiment with all different kinds of ways to pair program throughout Collab Lab, and learn what works best for everyone. Cool. So at the end of a week of work, we'll have a weekly sync, much like this, but with your individual cohort. And we split that up in odd and even numbered weeks for what that might look like. So in odd numbered weeks, we always have a demo and a discussion of what you were able to accomplish throughout the week. So each pair will demo what they did, what their issue was, and then walk through that code. Now, our weekly syncs are always recorded, number one, so if people need to miss the meeting, they're able to catch up. But number 2, this is a really great way to point to future employers, right? This is a demo that I did on this application, and it's a great way to present yourself professionally. So just know that it's really a great idea before the demo to meet with your partner and decide who's going to do what and to practice a little bit. It really helps the demo go very smoothly. And then during odd numbered weeks, we'll do some kind of learning module. So one of the mentors will present. So for example, in TCL 10 next week, we will be going over pair programming. We'll talk about like what the first week was like for pair programming and offer some suggestions going forward. And then finally, we'll go over the issues for the following week. So that's what odd numbered weeks look like. During even numbered weeks, it's almost the same, except the second part is going to be a retrospective. So a retrospective is the chance to offer appreciations to team members. We look back and decide and figure out like what went really well, what should we continue to do, and then finally what kind of got in our way, what got in the way of our progress, and what actions we can take going forward. So that's what a retrospective will look like. Wonderful. Does anyone have any questions that I can answer before going forward? I should have asked that before. I'm scrolling through everyone. Oh my gosh, so many people. Okay, I'm gonna go on. And
if anybody does have a question come up, just pop the question in the chat or whatever, and we can stop like when we get to a good point and answer.
Perfect. So the weekly cadence, this is a really important part of Collab Lab too, is like, how do I plan out my work for the week? So we recommend that you front load a lot of the development and pairing toward the beginning of the week. So for example, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, those would be times to do some research on the issue, to pair with your partner and decide who's going to work on what or work on it together. Because by Thursday, you're going to want to have a pull request
up and created, if at all possible, because the rest of the week is for code review, both by your other cohort's pair, right? You end up reviewing the code of the other group, and mentors. So mentors also do code review. And code review can really take, there's a lot of back and forth. So that takes a good 2.5 days to really get good code review in there. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're coding. Maybe by Wednesday, if there's still something that seems challenging, you're pinging mentors, or on Monday and Tuesday, pinging mentors, hey, we could really use help with this. Reach out at any time, it's really fine. Again, this is not about being like the kings and queens of code. It is about collaborating and learning how to work through issues. And this is what we do as developers all the time, is that we ask for help all of the time. By Thursday, getting a PR in. Friday and Saturday are really for pull request reviews. And then finally on Sunday, we have a demo, fingers crossed, on the production site. Cool. And now I think that I'm handing it off to Joey.
Thank you. Okay, so let's actually talk about what the process looks like for getting development work done. So can you scroll down just a little bit? So development process, like Lauren said, we're going to be working in pairs for the most part. So each kind of user story that you have, it's going to have a set of acceptance criteria that you want to accomplish. The user stories are listed in the project repo. There's a big Kanban board with everything where you'll get assigned to certain stories. And there's bullet points for acceptance criteria, meaning that all these bullet points have to be met for the story to be considered done. If you want to, you can write tests for a happy path. The happy path means it's the simplest way to meet the acceptance criteria. There's no edge cases, there's no weird scenarios. In case of the UI feature, we want to incorporate accessibility into our project, so it is accessible to all users that want to use it. Like Lauren said, there will be code reviews and whatnot. After your pair or another member in your team looks at your code for code review, it is then up to the product owners, in this case, the mentors for the group, to review the work. And once the work is reviewed and you get all the approvals, we're good to go to production. So the actual work process, whenever you get a new ticket with your pair, you're going to want to create a branch first off. In this case, we have the naming convention. It's going to be the initials of person 1 dash initials of person 2 dash a short description. Below, there's an example. We have Stacy and Alejandro working on connecting the app to Firestore, which is in Firebase. So they have STC, an AN, and then a description of what they're working on. So connect to Firestore. This way, both of y'all could work off the same branch. Something I want to mention is we highlight the importance of getting a draft pull request up early in the week. This is really good to get kind of done early in the week, so you can have multiple eyes on it. You know, if you're starting a new ticket, a new user story, and you're a little confused about it, you can put up a draft PR, get some eyes on it early to kind of help guide you in the right direction. And it's a good way to kind of keep on track with everything. Let's scroll down just a little bit. Cool. So like I said, whenever you're ready, you create your pull request. You can then assign people to review your pull request. That will notify them to say, hey, I have something that needs review, if you could take a look. Like Lauren said, you know, code review is a back and forth process. So it's good to get it in early because it might take a few days to resolve. But once everything is resolved and once it's approved, you know, you're good to go to main. And then when you hit the merge button to go to main, your code is going to be built and deployed to production. We use Netlify for our build pipelines. You'll get to look into that if you want to. It's pretty cool. And then when it's done, your code will be in the wild in production, and everybody can see your awesome work that you've done. And then of course you celebrate. I mean, shipping code is always a fun thing, and when it's live, you know, take a deep breath and like, yeah, I did that. That's awesome. Yeah, I guess I can continue on with Slack too.
I can take that over if you want, Joey.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. Can I say? I want to say one thing, Stacy, before about the mentor's role. So, and I don't know where this should have fit in, but you can think of your mentors as both senior developers and product owners. That's sort of the roles that they play for you. So, you know, you're in there, you're building the thing for the most part. But if you're on a team at a company, there might be a senior developer who knows a lot about the systems and sort of the stack that you're using and everything. So if you have questions about technical approach, or like, how should I break this down into, you know, or how should I test it, or, you know, all those kinds of things, you know, the mentor is good for that type of thing. They're also sort of acting this role of product owner, which you know, if you're not sure how the app should behave, you know, like what's an acceptable sort of, you know, user flow and those kinds of things, they're also the person to go to for that. So they're sort of wearing multiple hats. So just wanted to share that. Now on to Stacy, talk about Slack.
Slack! It's my favorite. It'll be your favorite, I'm sure. But having solid communication is like the lifeblood of being on a remote team, and that's what we are here. And most of our communication is going to be done in Slack. We'll also have Zoom calls where we talk about things, and we will be communicating a bit in PRs. But when it all boils down, everything needs to be coordinated and talked about in Slack, and preferably publicly, so that everybody can see and everybody on your team can be on the same page. So if you're not terribly familiar with Slack, that's fine. You're going to learn so much about it over the next 8 weeks. But these are our like top tip must-haves, best practices for having a really tight-knit team via Slack. Number 1, threads. When you're in Slack, the best way to communicate is by replying to people in a thread. Keeps everything nice and tidy, makes things very easy to search if you need to return to something in the past, or if you're like, say you ask a question, how do I do this in Firebase? If somebody replies to you in a thread, in the future, somebody can go search that and see the answer right there with the original question, rather than having to scroll through the entire channel to find the answer. So thread things because it keeps things tidy. It allows people better notifications so that they're not getting pinged when they don't need to, and when they are getting pinged when they need to. Speaking of notifications, tag people. As you've probably experienced already, Slack can get really noisy, and it's like a superpower if you can learn how to manage your own notifications, but help your teammates out by tagging them directly if you need something from them specifically. So if you need me specifically, tag me at Stacy specifically. There's also a number of user groups that we have at TCL 9 mentors if you just want all of the mentors for your group, or at here if you just want to see like, I have a question right now and I want it to go to whoever is here in Slack right now. Use those tags. They're very helpful, and they'll get you the answers quickly, and they'll make sure that we're all being accountable for the things we need to do. That's very specifically important when you're asking for PR reviews. So each week when you get your PR up, you're going to need the other pair to review that first. So you'll probably assign it to them in GitHub, but do also make sure that you pop into Slack and tag them there too, to let them know that it's ready for them. Because Slack is like where you find the truth, right? And so then once they review it, you'll also want to tag your mentors so that your mentors can review it too. So when it all boils down, make sure everything is happening in Slack so that we can search it and we can make sure everybody's on the same page. Use GIFs or GIFs, whatever you want to call them, and emojis liberally. This is like when you're working on a remote team, the only chance you get to connect and build relationships is in this medium usually. And the like few pair programming sessions you have throughout the week in our weekly sync. So be yourself in Slack, share GIFs, use like fun in there. If you think you're being too loud in Slack, know that you're probably not being loud enough. And send more and connect more. We're a team here. We're a community. I want to know you all. I want you all to know each other. So be in there. talk about whatever you want, talk about React, talk about your kids and your dogs and whatever you want to talk about that will help us build a tight-knit team, because we're all here to support each other and grow and be pals. So Slack. What else it says, as I would say if it wasn't here, I'm sure we forgot something. And I know this is so much information. It's like you're all coming and starting at a new company, kind of like at a new team, and you have no idea how anything works, but just know that nobody else on your team does either. And we're all here to learn and grow together, and you're gonna figure it out. It also probably seems a little overwhelming because there's so many of us in this meeting now, but we're gonna break out into your teams, and you're predominantly going to be working in your smaller teams throughout the next 8 weeks, but just know you have an entire community here for you if you need anything. So if you come up with feedback, if things weren't clear, if you need to know more, please talk to your mentors about it, post it in Slack publicly so we can all see it and be on the same page. And let's do this. This is me putting on those glasses like that pony. Boop. Okay, so what is next? The next thing that we're going to do in this meeting is go into breakout rooms, and we're going to go over your week 1 work, what work you're going to do over the next week. Andrew's going to set up those breakout rooms, and in those rooms will be your 2 mentors, your assistant mentor, your code of conduct person, if they are here and available, and all of the participants. Another administrative thing, I will be sending you a pre-satisfaction survey that I need you to fill it out, please, 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 because it's the only way we can keep our finger on the pulse of what is working with Collab Lab and how we can grow and scale and make a better experience for everybody. So please take time to fill that out when I send it to you. Another admin thing that you can expect is that we talked about having a weekly sync on Sunday every week with your team. Your mentors will send out a doodle like we did for this meeting where you can all coordinate on what time works best for your individual team. So be expecting that in the next day or so that we can get those meetings set up. And those will generally be recurring meetings at the same time every Sunday where you do your demos and retros and learning modules. But if you can't make it, they're always recorded. And if you all need to rearrange for some reason, it's flexible. Talk about it as a team. It's just like real life. It's just like working on a real team where you're not always available for everything and you need to rely on each other to be flexible and support each other. So we are all here for you. What else did I have? Let me pop out of the screen share real quick. Check my notes. That's it. Be noisy. Be super duper noisy. Build relationships, grow your team, learn lots of great, collaboration skills, and support each other. You're going to help us grow as mentors. We hopefully will help you grow in all of the different areas you need us. And we're here for each other. This is a full community filled with love and support and learning. And I'm so excited that you're all here, and let's get started. Back to Andrew.
Yeah. All right, good job, mentors. Well done. Yeah, one last point before I send you off into breakout rooms is just that we really try to take what's called a growth mindset approach to things here, right? So if you haven't heard of that, what that means is that the growth mindset is basically believing that you have the ability to grow and change and learn, and as opposed to a fixed mindset where you think that, okay, the talents I have, that's all I have to work with, and it creates kind of a scarcity mentality. So when you have a growth mindset, asking a question in a channel is not threatening because you understand that that's the only way to learn. Everybody, no one is born knowing this stuff. There's no shame in asking, there's no stupid questions, right? There's really honestly no shame in asking a question. The mentors are going to work really hard to, when you ask a question, to say, great question. Like that's like, thank you so much for asking that. I'm sure other people, probably have the same question and those kinds of things. So really do just take advantage of this, this space to just learn as much as you can over the next 8 weeks. So as if you didn't have enough information to process already, we're going to send you off into breakout rooms with your teams, and we're going to make sure everybody has the project set up. We'll get the branches created for the first week's issues and clarify the acceptance criteria and all those kinds of things. So I will be here mentors or anybody, if you have any kind of question that you think I should come in and answer, I'll be here in the main room and I can pop into your breakout room and help you. Otherwise, have a great time. At the end of this, when you come out of the breakout rooms, we'll do the awkward like, oh, hi, bye kind of thing as you come through the Zoom room, but that's just how Zoom works. So anyway, so glad you're all here. I'm going to send you off now unless there are any questions before I do it. Good? All right. See ya. Have fun. All right. And then there were two.
I have nowhere to go, so I'm going to hang out with you, I guess.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I missed most of the like somehow I couldn't get the chat open when I was screen sharing, so I missed most of that. But I saw your note about the repetitive GIFs.